Good Reggie, yo. Yeah, what's up, son? Yo, we've been set to dominate these corny from late and set the scripted rap shit straight from Crenshaw to Castlegate. Like PCL, I remember almost died.
Bass, MC Shawn Love. And yeah, man, on this fine evening, I'm going to be reviewing for Hip Hop Reviews episode 10. One of my favorite albums of all time. If I got 30 favorite albums, Desert Island albums. Gang Starr, the fifth album. Moment of Truth would be one of them. I mean, this album is smooth, hard, uplifting, filled with purpose. Guru's, a lot of people mistake Guru for just having a dope voice. And they say, his lyrics were decent, but he had a dope voice. And, to that I say, fucking suck a dick, man. Go read those goddamn Tupac Shakur poetry books that they publish shit that he wrote on fucking bar napkins. And if you want to. But why don't you pay attention to some of Guru's lyrics? That's the God universal, ruler universal. And if there was if you really, a younger head wants to hear, I want to understand hip-hop. Or, maybe you don't. But if you did want to understand hip-hop, Gang Starr, Moment of Truth would be one of the top 5 albums I would give you and say, hey, listen to these, come back to me in the morning and we'll have a talk. You tell me there's not going to be another Lil Wayne? There's already 20 other fucking Lil Waynes. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, imitations of that fucking codeine-infused motherfucker. There is never gonna be another Guru. We're talking 1989. No more Mr. Nice Guy. The one with Words I Manifest on it. After that, you got Step in the Arena, 1992. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then 1994, you've got Daily Operation. Then a 4-year hiatus, Moment of Truth, which I believe is the shining diamond in the catalog, filled with diamonds. And then, of course, you got The Owners, 2002. I want to say 2003. It was like 5 years after Moment of Truth. And that was the last album where Guru and Premier would be working together for a full-length project as Gang Starr, ARR. It's not like the guy just had a dope album, came and went. I mean, everything from Words I Manifest to Dwick to Mass Appeal to Take It Personal to Just to Get a Rep. He's just got dope track after dope track after dope track with some more shit and some more shit and some more shit. He's gone off and he's done collaboration albums with other people. Guru's done the Jazzmatazz albums where he's rhymed with regular jazz musicians, some historical greats and newcomers alike. Guru is a prolific, accomplished MC, and I think it's a goddamn shame that his name doesn't always show up on the top 5 list when we're talking about the top 5 that ever did it. Guru belongs there, and if not there, in the top 10. I know how we could make room for him. Push Pac the fuck over the cliff, all right? And if not, take Biggie. And I love Biggie, But I'm telling you, Guru is underrated. You see one of these interviews with one of these new scumbuckets or, one of these bags of pig semen on the radio talking about, I'm not going to rhyme off that old beat. I'm a rock star. I don't need to come with a mean 16 anymore. Fuck you. You don't rhyme. You're an MC and you refuse to rhyme to a DJ Premier beat. Like I said, I invite you to my hairy dick and balls. Suck it up, lick the whole plate up, Redman. Starts off, my steez, track 1, already knocking it out the park. Premier's beat, of course, fantastic. It's hard to find a whack Premier beat. There's probably a couple of them, I haven't heard them. Guru says lines that keep us in check about the atmosphere that was already taking place in 1998 when this album released. He says real MCs and DJs are a minority. Severe facts have brought the rap game to near collapse. And they were saying this 17 years ago. You know how goddamn long 17 years is? That's a whole person that can fucking drink. And that first track, of course, is followed by a skit, and the heart material of that skit is about how we should be teaching the children, whether we're, Islam, Christian, Judaism, no matter what we believe in, our responsibility is bringing the best knowledge that we have to the young and helping them grow and advance. Track 2, Robin Hood Theory comes in, and Guru saying, if I wasn't kicking rhymes, I'd be kicking down doors, creating social change and defending the poor. Tupac was too busy getting a fucking Jesus tattoo when some of this stuff was being written. I'm sorry, I don't want to pick on Pac too much because I do like that song, I Get Around. I just think he's a tremendously overhyped dead MC. And if we're going to be talking about dead MCs, I don't think we talk about the Guru enough. He never takes his eyes off the prize, and that's empowering black youth specifically, but it's empowering to any youth listening to his messages. On the track 4, I think it was called Royalty, he's talking about how you treat a woman. He's issuing a warning warning, the best way isn't always the fast way, and the best way isn't always to act nasty. Dressing the youth, you know, you're on the corner with a gun, you're out there smoking weed somewhere in the hallway getting high. He says, wherever you are, baby Paul, recognize your essence is divine, son, and let it shine, son. And above the clouds, the God is just raining down wisdom on you. He says, with a force that cannot be compared to firepower, this is mind power shared. He says, I can't afford to be confined to a cell, brainwave swell, turning a desert to a well. The whole album, Moment of Truth, from the judge on the front, you know, to the court seats in the opening portion of the album when you're looking at the graphic, you know, to a lot of the references up until the points, you know, track 6 or 7, you know something happened to Guru. He's laced it and interdispersed different skits throughout the album, whether it's Premier dissing the shit out of people that are saying, hey, you know, somebody's lawyers calling him and saying, hey, this rapper says you scratched his voice in a hook. And he's trying to explain that you're letting the industry make the rules of hip-hop culture. And, you know, that didn't always used to happen that way, you know, and this has really become, this is around the time the game really became industry-fied. And I hate calling hip-hop the game. When he talks about the trouble he did get into, he's a little non-specific. You know, it has something to do with a gun. The track JFK to LAX, he starts to get a little bit more specific about what was going down. But at the same time, he's critical. He's not just critical of the people that are coming down on him. He's not just critical of the forces that are against him, but he's critical of the community, or the black community, I'm assuming. He says, you could swagger like you're rude as Josie Wales. Unorganized revolt almost always mostly fails. To elevate the mental is to be poor no more. He really expounds upon that in the title track, Moment of Truth, which is track 8. And he says, I don't even feel like drinking or getting high. You know, that would just aggravate the emotions that I'm trying to alleviate. You know, and I'm just, you know, and I'm paraphrasing now. He describes a situation where he feels like the whole world is against him. You know, me against the world, not to draw too many parallels, but, you know, there's a dark cloud over his head. He's pacing in a room. I'm ready to lose my mind, but instead I use my mind. I put down the knife and take the bullets out my 9. By track 12, he just tells you, this is what I'm here for. You know, bob your head to it. Here's the water. You've been led to it. Prance to it. Use your third eye and glance to it. Your state of being, becoming advanced through it. Anybody who says Guru is all about the voice, and he does got a dope voice, you know, like I said, dick and balls on a plate. You know, this is one of the top 10. You know, Move Over Lamar, you know, this is one of the top 10. So if you were wondering what you were arguing against, or if you said, hey, I've never heard anybody this deep and poetic yet, you don't got to look very far. There's a whole bunch of other MCs out there, but Guru is definitely at the top of the list of them. There's some tracks that weren't my cup of tea, like Mall, where they're rhyming about shopping and stuff like that. But, you know, that's forgiven because it's surrounded by so many other great songs. So many, 20, that I can't even talk about them in a respectable length YouTube video. It's got a lot of great guests on here. Everybody from Fetty Fox to Scarface, like I said before, Inspector Deck. And he's got some other lesser known rappers, Big Suge and others. All of them have outstanding performances. And this becomes an album that's like a go-to whenever you're going through something in your life that's difficult, or something, you know, an obstacle you're having a hard time overcoming. Guru was overcoming an obstacle when he wrote this album. It sounds like it, but he sounds like somebody who's going to overcome. And in the meantime, not only is he selfishly trying to overcome these stressors in his life himself, but he's kind of drawing you a roadmap to how to do it in case you're ever in that situation. In track 15, My Advice to You, he says, my advice to you is lay off on the or cut down on the champagne and booze. For if you're like me, most times that shit is bad news. One of his homies that's been locked up before, he tells him, you need to stop before you get caught again, or you get shot and I lose another friend. I doubt we'll ever be big time selling dope, coke, and dust. It's killing us. Let's get our people and form an exodus. So not only is he critical, but he's offering solutions. You know, that's what they always say, right? If you're going to criticize somebody, you'd better be prepared with some kind of a solution. Otherwise, you're just a cop. If you never heard this Gang Starr album, if you never heard a Gang Starr album, if you're only remotely aware of Gang Starr, then you're not fucking hip-hop. If you're a hip-hop head and you collect vinyl, it should already be in your collection. If it's not, it should be the first one that you add to it. I go back to this album routinely. I've got it on cassette, CD, digital files, and the LP, obviously. It's not something you can own enough copies of. It's like one of the Beatles albums for rock enthusiasts. Go get it. Anyway, I'm MC Shawn Love. If you want me to review your vinyl or somebody's vinyl you really like that I haven't been talking about, you can reach me at LOVBLOG, loveblog@gmail.com, and get that motherfucker in the mail. I'll put it on the turntable, and we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. Peace.